Thank you so much for joining for our May meeting for our Old Speedway City Neighborhood Association. Today we have the director from the Parks and Rec for the town of Speedway, Tammy Smith. She'll be coming and sharing some new and exciting information about our summer programs. Thank you for coming.
Hello. Thanks for inviting me. I'm real excited to be here. I always enjoy talking about the parks. The first thing I want to do is just introduce myself. I'm Tammy Smith. I'm the director for Speedway Parks and Recreation. I've been in this position almost 5 years. Come October, I can't believe it's been that long already. A lot's happened in the last almost 5 years. And I've been immersed into the parks ever since, and I absolutely love it, and I love talking about it. So I am the director, and we have a parks maintenance supervisor, Mike Smith, who actually kind of runs the parks, the grounds themselves. Him and his staff take care of the parks grounds, the buildings, the facilities out in the parks, things like that. They're very busy. We have Mike, and then he has one full-time staff member and 2 part-time staff members. And, you know, they work basically 7 days a week. We have the 2 part-timers that work split shifts on Saturdays and Sundays. So they're hard workers, and we really appreciate them a lot. They help keep our parks nice. We have, as I'm sure most of you know, we have 2 parks in Speedway, Leonard Park and Meadowwood Park. We have many amenities, shelter rentals, tennis and pickleball court. It's a combo court, volleyball, walking paths, ball diamonds, playgrounds, restrooms, horseshoe pits, story walk, memorial benches, gardens and trees, and plenty of green space. We have several events this year. The biggest one that everybody looks forward to is our concerts in the park. And this year we have at least record-setting since I've been here, 9 concerts scheduled this year. The first one is June 30th. It's Derek and Cole Duo. Followed by July 14th is Crush Bon Jovi Tribute Band. July 21st, Our Shepherd. July 28th, Paul Stout Band. August 4th, the Filter Kings. August 11th, the Silver Birds. August 18th, the Party Band. August 25th, Barbender. And then September 1st, the Last Alpaca. In addition to our concerts in the park, we have another music event happening. On August 20th, we're doing the West Indy Winds Art and Music Festival again. We already have 5 and possibly 7 concert and jazz bands that will be performing throughout the day. Our time will be 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., so it's going to be like an all-day event. We will have art and craft booths, so if you are an artist or know some artists or people who make handmade stuff, everything has to be made by them. Have them reach out to me. They can email me at tsmith@speedwayIN.gov for an application. So we are looking to fill the park with some vendors. Fun Days ice cream truck will be there. We'll have another food truck and a beer and wine garden as well for that event. So we're excited about that. We are hoping to do a movie in the park at Leonard Park this year. That's to be determined, but we're trying to get something together for that as another event. Another to be determined, last year we did a community day. We partnered with Indiana 811 and Pipeline Awareness, and we were able to do a community event at Leonard Park and kind of had a touch-a-truck event where we had a crane and different types of large vehicles, snow plow out there. We had some of our big riding lawnmowers, lots of equipment that the kids could get on and into and get close with and get pictures, and it was a real fun day. So I actually have a meeting coming up with Indiana 811. We're hoping to partner again and make that event happen again. We also have Trunk or Treat. We did that under the parks this past year. It was very successful. We had it at Speedway High School. It was a great venue, and this year we are hoping to partner with the Lions Club and make that Trunk or Treat in conjunction with the Lions Club's costume contest that they have every year. So we're in talks to make that happen, make it a one-day event, a little bit longer. Everybody can come to one location. So watch for more information on that. Also under Parks now is Light the Night on Main. We did that last year as well, and we look forward to doing that this year. That historically is the first Wednesday of December, so right now tentatively we're scheduled to have that Wednesday, December 7th. In addition to our many events, we also have some wonderful programs that we offer, the kids especially, our summer camps. We partner with the school town of Speedway in order to hold these camps. We have over 20 sport and art camps available. We also have a horseshoe and cornhole camps. And in addition, this year, I've added an extra camp that we're going to have here at the Speedway Municipal Center. It's going to be for students going into grades 5 through 12. It is called Speedway Unplugged. And basically, they're not to have their phones with them, no screens, no electronics. Trying to give them some fun time away from that. You know, they text each other a lot. A lot of them don't communicate face-to-face much anymore. So we are going to work on communication and social skills and basic life skills through a fun, hands-on experience and games. Some of the elements that we're incorporating into this 4-day camp is gardening, sewing, vehicle maintenance, and cooking. So I'm real excited. If you want your kids to kind of get away from so much screen time, please look into signing them up for that camp. So I believe that's the week of June 13th through the 16th. We're doing Monday through Thursday. It'll be 4:30 to 6 p.m. here at the center. Another program we've had for several years is our Tribute Tree program. So people are able to donate money to the park. It's typically $250, and they can select a choice of 7 different trees, and then have a plaque put with the tree. And I will say the past couple years we've had some challenges with the plaques. The plaques that we got are rusting and you can't hardly read them now. And so I've been working for literally over a year trying to figure out what we're going to do about that. We've had a few complaints of people who are coming to the park that say with the little plaques on the stake, it kind of looks cemetery-ish. So we've kind of been figuring out what we can do about that. We have a vendor that has stepped up and is going to replace all those plaques for us. And so we are working on getting them all the verbiage for all the plaques that exist in the parks now, as well as the tribute trees from the last 2 years where those people have never had a plaque because we were trying to figure out the right way to do this if we were even going to keep the plaques. So we are keeping the plaques for right now, and we will be getting all of them replaced. So I just wanted to update people on that. And another program we've got starting June 2nd is our market in Meadowwood. So it basically is like a farmer's market. It used to be on Main Street last year. There were a lot of challenges with that. So we've moved it to the park, and it's still on Thursdays. The time has changed just a bit. It will now be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And a really nice thing about that is, like I said, we've got 9 concerts scheduled, so the market will overlap the concerts, and so that will provide them some extra traffic, as well as the concert goers will have some extra things to do and look at and you know, participate in and hopefully support our vendors. The market will be on Thursdays beginning June 2nd through September 15th. We are still in need of vendors. We've got a park. We're going to put them in a certain area of the park, but we have lots of room for growth there. So if you know anybody who would be interested in being part of our market, have them reach out to me, and I can send them an application. We are definitely still in need of produce vendors and home gardeners. If you're a home gardener that does a lot of produce for your family and you always have an over and abundance, gardeners are able to sell at the farmer's market as long as it's whole and uncut produce. So just throwing that out there. Again, anybody interested, just contact my office. Some of the improvements that we're trying to make around the park. In Leonard Park, we got a federal Land Water Conservation Fund grant a couple years ago. We started the process, but COVID hit, and so it kind of slowed everything up. We were able to get phase 1 done at the beginning of last year, and that was putting new ball diamond lights on the east ball diamond at Leonard Park. The lights that were there have been there for decades and were very antiquated, and the poles were rotting, and it became a safety hazard. So we were happy to get that part done. Our phase 2 of our improvements have actually just recently started. We hoped to have had them started a little bit sooner, but again, we're still having challenges, supply chain challenges. One of the biggest thing is concrete. So a lot of the improvements require concrete. And so our contractor, he has to wait until he gets on a schedule, and then he can get the concrete poured. But some of the improvements you'll see at Meadowwood is the addition of new benches with companion pads around the park, concrete areas at the ball diamonds where the bleachers are with ADA companion pads, 2 new water fountains with bottle filling stations, and before anybody asks, no, they will not have the dog part on it. We did look into that, we thought about it, but we kind of voted it down. There's been recent studies that show the communal bowls can infect dogs with diseases and parasites. And we were also concerned with little kids playing in them. And we already see at our parks now in the water fountain, sometimes squirrels get up there and we're cleaning feces out of there. So we don't want to give any extra opportunities for that. So we did opt to not have the dog filling bowls. But there will be bottle filling stations on there, so we're excited about that. You can bring your own bottle and fill it up there, as well as a regular water fountain. We're redoing the tennis courts. We do have some drainage issues underneath them, so they are completely being demolished, and then we will completely redo them. We will have striping for tennis courts as well as pickleball courts on those existing or the new courts. Let's see, where am I at? We are also going to have the addition of some musical playground equipment. I'm real excited about this. They make these really neat large musical equipments. They've got a cable on them with a mallet, and the kids can play different musical instruments. And it's pretty neat. Someone who knows music can really make them sound pretty good. So that should be a lot of fun, interactive for the kids. We're also going to have the addition of a concrete table tennis as well as a checkerboard chess table put in the park. And also the addition of ADA access from the parking lot to the walking paths. We do have a couple of handicap spaces, but there's no ramp for them to get to the walking path. So we will have one from the parking lot to the walking path installed. Right now they have to go all the way kind of to the back side by Leonard East Ball Diamond, and there's an access there. But it's not even by a handicap spot, so we're excited to get that improved. At Meadowwood Park, we had a new pet waste station put in on the southeast side of the park by a resident, gifted by a OSCNA member as well, Janet and Ed Fullen. So we thank them for that gift to the park. We're already seeing a lot of positive feedback, people noticing, hey, there's a new pet waste station in, and they love it because I guess there was a big distance between the other pet waste stations. We also installed a story walk last December. So if you're not familiar with that, there's posts with boards that go all the way around the park. And when you start at number 1, and then by the time you get around, you've read a children's story. So it's a great way for parents, grandparents, and kids to get out together, get some exercise, and read a book. We will actually be putting in a new book, hopefully by this Friday. I got the books in the mail today, and we'll be getting those laminated and installed later this week. Also, in both parks, we are getting new and upgraded security cameras, so I'm very excited about that. We have had some issues the last couple of years, and so hopefully these security cameras will help alleviate some of that, or at least help us follow up if we do have instances. Again, some of our challenges because of this, us getting the security cameras, are because of vandalism that we had. We like to make the news for good reasons. We don't like it so much when they're bad reasons, and we did make the news last year for the bathroom issues. So far this year, we're doing well. Everybody seems to be behaving. Some of the other challenges that we have are people not obeying our park rules. One of which is our hours is dawn to dusk, and we regularly have people in the park after dark. So we're trying to get that information out that the park is closed when it is dark. We're hoping to put up a little bit more signage in the parks. We do have signs, but most people don't go to the park to read signs, so we're hoping to get something a little more direct. There's no smoking and no alcohol in the park. The exception on the alcohol, obviously, is if we have a large event that's been approved by the board, but it's in a designated area. And then we also don't allow inflatables like bounce houses. When people book the shelters, they do sign that they agree not to have those, but yet we find them in the park all the time, and we have to go tell them to take them down. And people wonder why, and a lot of times, the biggest issue is liability, but also when one of those inflatables goes up in the park, and they're heavy, and they sit on the grass, and they damage the grass to the point where once they come down, you can see right where they are, and you can see that for 6 weeks or more. So sometimes it kills the grass, or at least damages it for a very long time. And we want our parks to look nice and stay healthy, and our parks are within a neighborhood, and we want people to be respectful of the neighbors as well. We have volunteer opportunities if anybody is interested in doing any kind of volunteer work for the parks. We oftentimes have where we need to plant plants or do some mulching, which we've got that coming up. Hopefully June 4th, we're going to have a day for working out in the park. We're also seeking, I'm just now announcing this, but you'll be seeing more about this, crocheters or knitters. We have a project that we want to do in Leonard Park, a fence art project, the fencing there between the park and the street department. We do have a memorial bench right by that fence with a garden, and it's right next to the fence and the street department. It doesn't look so nice there. So we're wanting to put up an art project on the fence itself. So we've got some ideas for that. So if anybody does any type of yarn work, crocheting or knitting, please get a hold of me or watch for more information, and we'll let everybody know what we plan on doing for that, to kind of block that and make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. We also need help with volunteers almost at all of our events and some of our programming. So for example, the Speedway Unplugged, the new camp that we're going to do here, I could use a couple of adults to help with that. If anyone is interested, reach out to me. And then all of our events, we need help. So if anybody's ever wanting to volunteer to help us at the Art and Music Festival, Trunk or Treat, Light the Night on Main, any of our concerts, again, reach out to me for that, and we'd love to have your assistance. Looking ahead at some of the wish list items that I hear a lot often about, or I would like to see happen, the number one thing I hear about, can anybody guess what it is? No, believe it or not, it's not, although I do hear a lot about splash parks. It's pickleball, a dedicated pickleball court. That is something that we would love to see go into the park. It's a very popular, I hear it daily, and when the weather's nice and I'm out in the parks, I hear it multiple times a day. I hear you, people. We're trying. The second most thing I hear about is a dog park. Now, I will say I can pretty much guarantee, pretty close, there will not be a dog park in Leonard Park or Meadowwood Park. We don't want to take what green space we have away to close it in for a dog park. However, it's always on our radar, and we hope that we can come up with some kind of land somewhere that, I don't know how, but I keep it out there, and the powers that be know that we would like to have one, and so their ideas are always floating around. So again, we hear you, we're trying to come up with an option, but we are a small town with not a whole lot of extra space, so just bear with us and hope that maybe one day we will have that. The Land Water Conservation Fund grant that we got for Leonard, when we were awarded that, you can only use it for one park, and Leonard had more needs. That's why Leonard got that grant. But we hope once those improvements are done and we've paid that off, because that grant is, they pay half of it and we have to pay the other half. We hope to apply for it for Meadowwood Park in the future, so then we can do some more nice improvements in Meadowwood Park as well. So those are kind of the main talking points for the parks. I'm sure people have questions, and I would love to answer them because I love talking about the parks. So does anybody have any questions for me?
We have two questions. So the first question was, actually it came out of, if we are at the park and we see a problem, who can we contact?
Call the non-emergency police line, and I don't know it by heart. They're the best ones to call. Obviously, if you see an emergency, if you see something bad, call 911. But if you're not sure, if you think something doesn't look right, or something's not right, but it's not an emergency, contact the non-emergency number. Dispatch will answer, and they will get somebody out there. Even when I go to the park and I see something, I have to call the non-emergency number and get a police officer to come and assist me with addressing the situation.
Is Speedway non-emergency still the same dispatch number as it was in the other location?
Yes.
That's 317-246-4300.
Okay.
That's what I have for dispatch.
Okay.
Another one, 246-4343.
That's the one I recognize, yeah, 246-4343. So I do believe that is definitely a non-emergency number. But yes, call the non-emergency number. They would much rather if you see something, say something. Even if it's nothing, they'd much rather go out and check it and make sure. I know a lot of us, I know I'm guilty of it, and I work for the town, and I know they tell me, don't be approaching and doing stuff on your own, get help. And I've been guilty of not doing that, and we had an incident last year that made me, now I will always do it. So, but yeah, they have said they would rather come out and it not be anything than come out or not come out and it be something. So that helps protect people in the park, and it helps protect our park. So I think even just the police presence coming out, people are aware that they do monitor. And I do know the police do drive around there in the evenings. I have been told by people who live around there that they see the police officers shine the light in the park, and if they see somebody, they tell them to leave. So, we appreciate our police officers. And did you have another question?
Yeah, the other question was, when you had said applications as vendors or applications to be a part of the community, is there a fee with those?
Yeah, so the market in the park fee is $60 for the whole season if you're going to be there every week. Or we also have an option for a day-to-day. So if you know you can only make 6 of them, well, let's say 5 of them, you could pay $10 a day. But if you're going to make 6 or more, you might as well pay for the whole season. Yeah.
How big an area are you trying to camouflage with the bench and the fence?
So we, in feet, I'm going to say maybe 20 feet. The rest of the fencing, we are going to put some of that fence barrier on it to try to help hide. But then the artwork that we're wanting to do, the art project, might be about 20 feet, I'm going to guess.
Because macrame could be a good filler if you use chunky cord. Fill a lot of space.
Well, if that's something you do, definitely reach out. And yeah, if you want to volunteer your time and help us with our art project, we would love to have it. We've got several ideas. It's something we kind of foresee that we could change out periodically and not always be the same thing. Obviously, with weather and the rain and the sun fading the yarn, we'll have to change it out. But I think it'll be a fun project to be able to change it out and do some fun things with it. Another thing regarding programs, now that we're in this building, something that I'm seeking, and I would love people's opinion on this, is we want to start having classes for adults as well. So I know there has been interest in, learn to crochet, intro to crochet. So I'm definitely going to be putting that on the schedule, hopefully this year. But I would like to know what people would like to see, maybe what kind of classes or programs you might like to participate in or hear about, and then we'll see if we can't get that going, on our schedules in the near future and subsequent years. Yoga? Okay, that's good to know. Email me with those ideas. I would love to start working on getting some kind of adult programming, senior programming, maybe toddler programming, just add some more of that. Because right now, the main thing is we do a lot with the school-age children, and that's because we have the great partnership with the schools. Just so you're aware, when we do these summer camps, we employ the high school kids and the teachers. So, that's a nice partnership there. So, and then the school, we do take a small registration fee. We have not upped that fee since I have been here. But the school actually subsidizes the difference because our expenses are way more than what we take in by quite a lot, thousands of dollars, and the school votes every year and approves to help us with that project so we can keep the price low for our students to have something to do. We also offer the free summer swim lessons. That's been going on for many years. I don't even know how long. I know my kids did it when they were little, and they're both grown now. So it's a great program, and we've got that going as well. So if anybody, we did send flyers home to the schools. St. Chris received their flyers today. If anybody is interested in signing their kid up for the free swim lessons, they do need to be evaluated first. That's coming up on May 11th. They just need to contact me to get registered. There are limited spots, and they're filling up fast. So, any more questions?
Yeah. What's the best way to get information about the Parks and Rec? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, so we have Speedway Parks and Recreation Facebook page, and then also on our town website, we're trying to get more stuff put on there. It's not the friendliest website, but hopefully that'll improve soon. That's something else that the town's trying to work on. But yes, the Facebook page is probably one of the #1 ways to do it. Stuff that's for kids, the programming stuff, we send flyers home, or we give them to the school administration, and they pass them out to the elementary age. I'm not sure they do the junior high. I know they don't with the high school, but they do send them out to all 4 elementaries. Sometimes, if things we know ahead of time, we let Speedway Town talk. We'll advertise in there, and then the Town of Speedway's Facebook page, they'll share it out on that as well.
We share that on our website too.
Good, yeah. And there's a lot of other groups that share things that I post. I see that, we've got 10 shares. So we love to see that everybody's sharing the different things. So, anything else?
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, well, thank you guys, and come visit the parks.
I was saying, Tammy's always sort of our go-to for May, so we can figure out what we can do this summer. But thank you everybody for coming and watching online as well. One thing that we wanted to share is that as much as we have our in-person audience, and I appreciate you guys coming out, our viewership on our live streams are actually really good numbers as well. We've had up to 70, up to 200 views of our videos, so I think that's amazing, and hopefully people are watching or tuning in, either live streaming or just watching it later. If you do watch our YouTube videos about our general meetings, please also consider becoming a member. So our website is oscna.com. You also can go to our Facebook page, which is Old Speedway City Neighborhood Association. We do still do like mail-in memberships, but we can always send that membership to you or email it to you, and then you can send that in to us. You know, we do have our $10 membership fee, but that gets you membership for a whole year, and we have a lot of discounts to our Main Street businesses. So please consider, if you are watching this and you want to become a member, reach out to us and we can send you a membership card. Right now, we're just going to go on with our business meeting. So if you have an opportunity, we have a nice crowd. If you can look at our minutes on the back, we're going to make a motion to approve them. It was kind of a light day because Jason had an amazing presentation about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, so I didn't really want to take too much time up, but there are a lot of great programs that were coming that we talked about. So if anybody's available to create a motion, and then we will second and approve.
I move we accept the minutes.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those who approve the minutes as are written, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, excellent. Barb, we have a change in our account. Do we have a financial report, please?
At this time, we have $2,943.50.
Thank you very much. And then we are at 32 for members?
We are now at, 33.
33! That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. This will actually be our last general meeting that will be in person until August. So if you recall, in June and July, we usually do some other things because we know it's starting to get into the holiday season. So we are going to have our block party, our neighborhood block party. We are going to use our general meeting day, which is June 6th, and we are going to have a block party from 6 to 8 p.m. We are trying to find our location. We've had it some different places, and so we are trying to figure out which one would be the place for us. For safety, and also just making sure that we are just being mindful of who is who feels comfortable coming. It is going to be sort of a bring your own food, bring your own drink, but we are going to provide games, maybe a trivia game. We can see about your history of Speedway. So this is just an opportunity for all of our members, and if you'd like to invite your neighbors to come and enjoy, hopefully, a beautiful day and a beautiful night together. So when we get our location, we'll make sure we share out with that, but that will be our sort of like block party, neighborhood party on June 6th. Usually in July, we don't meet because it's, 4th of July, but we have had in the past an ice cream social. So we are going to have an ice cream social at Fun Days on July 11th from 6 to 8. So once again, that also is just an opportunity to come, invite your neighbors. We won't really have like a designated rope off Fun Days, place, but we are just going to usually take that time to come. If you see one of your neighbors, you can sit and enjoy some ice cream with them. And we're just making sure that Fun Days knows that, we do expect, our members, so we do expect a bit of a crowd so that they'll have some extra servers on that night. In August, we'll come back and meet together, and we are going to have actually Janet, one of our board members, present about the Buy Nothing movement in Speedway. And I thought that would be a really good way to maybe think about how we're going to do our community sale in September. So we do want to sponsor, once again our community sale that we have in September. I do believe we are still working on the date on that. It usually is, I don't know, like the second weekend of September, but we'll make sure, because I know sometimes the racing events have changed, and so we always want to be mindful of that. So a lot of things to think about and enjoy as we get into our summer month and then coming back in the fall. For the rest of our presentation, I just want to kind of share some information that would help us as neighbors and with our community. First off, tomorrow, May 3rd, is the primary election day, so the administrative offices and the clerk treasurer will be closed, and this is one of the polling places if you would like to come vote. According to the IndyGov, indyvote.gov, you can go to any polling place to vote. It doesn't have to be by your address, but it is nice to actually vote where you live because it's just usually a little more convenient. And polling places will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that might just mean that there might be just more traffic as people are trying to get to polling places. Another thing that's going to affect our neighborhood is that there is a lot of road restrictions coming up. May 7th is the mini marathon, and they said that they will have road restrictions from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Also, that same day is the race for Riley. Then we just get into our racing weekends, so May 13th and 14th for the Grand Prix, there are road restrictions. There are definitely road restrictions for the race and also for qualifying. If you have not signed up, and if you do email, if you go to the Town of Speedway website, it pops up and it asks, would you like to get information about what's going on in the town? And you put in your email address, and they'll routinely send you the information that they also share on their Facebook page and on their website about just what's happening in Speedway, including all the things that are going to be shut down because there's going to be a big crowd. So I get those a lot too, and it is really helpful because I am right off of Main Street, and there is times where I cannot leave my house. So it's nice to know when that actually happens. Because it is May, and Speedway likes the month of May, another thing that's coming up is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway 500 Spectacle of Homes. So that actually starts this month. One thing that is happening this week is May 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. The Harrison Center, which is the art center down on 10th and Delaware, is actually having their porch party. So you can go, they have art, they have music, and you actually, if you get there in time, actually have a grab bag of things that you can use to decorate your house with. But there was actually some really great on Facebook talking about this. People were actually kind of putting some different posts about different places if you are looking for decorations. But definitely if you want to decorate your house, you can actually send in your address, and they'll add it to the list of houses that people can tour or see as they come into the city. The Speedway Arts Council just did a brand new mural. I don't know, did anybody paint? I did the purple stripe with Amelia. But that is amazing. And actually, tomorrow, they're going to have their media day for that. So I think that'll be nice that they're actually going to get on the news. And then also, Speedway Art Council wanted to remind us there's going to be a lot of pop-up art shops throughout the month of May, as maybe some of our local artists are going to be selling some of their art and just taking advantage of, getting some of their art out there. If you are interested, I know I'll be attending the HUNY, the Historic Urban Neighborhood Institute. May 5th is their one of their quarterly meetings. They're going to have Meg Starrow, who is one of the leads of the Rethink 6570 Coalition. So the HUNY has really been focusing on the 60-75 interchange because it's really interrupting a lot of those neighborhoods. But if you want more interesting information about that, if you want to get like a Zoom invite, give me the heads up through our email, and I can always share that link to you. So if you want to join that. And St. Christopher also wanted to remind our members as well, is that they're having their annual auction May 13th from 6:30 to 10 at the Country Club of Indianapolis. And so that has been posted on the Town of Speedway Facebook. So if you want more information, you can look there, or if you want to get information from me, I can share that. And there is a lot of stuff to do in May. So primary election is tomorrow. Mini Marathon is the 7th. Our Town Council is May 9th. The Grand Prix is the 13th to the 14th. Sponsored by Tacos and Tequila, we have our taco run on May 15th. May 27th is Rocking on the Main. There is, should be above the 27th, but May 23rd is another town council meeting. And our race is May 29th in D500. The other thing that I just got in the mail, but this is also through the Town Speedway, was a post on Facebook, but they are having a Speedway scavenger hunt. So this is something that you get in the mail, and it is encouraging you to go to all the local businesses in Speedway, and if you get like a stamp or if you buy something, because it actually has discounts on it, you can participate and maybe win like a whole track pack filled with gift cards donated by local businesses. So something else that our town of Speedway is trying to encourage, to go to our local businesses. At this time, if there's anything to add for the open to business, yes, Bonnie.
Another time when everything's going to be restricted is for Run 317 in June.
Yep.
June 23rd is a Thursday.
Yep.
Main Street will be closed, and then they run around 10th Street to Lyndhurst to 16th and back to Main, and everything just shuts down.
Just, I think it's amazing, especially with our paths.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe not the best idea. I appreciate, like, with our trails, I think it's really encouraging people to, be healthy, to have these races. Like the mini marathon too is a major part of May, but we, as a neighbor in Speedway, you just have to know when you can leave your house and when you can't. So, but once again too, the town of Speedway has been really very mindful, especially if you go to their website, they have just a listing that says stuff's happening in May, and it lists all the different events, and it also lists all the different parking restrictions. So if you're really thinking about where it is, where my house is, you can definitely go to that website and figure out. But a lot of stuff's going to be just changed. But you know what? We're so used to it. Like, we've done this for years.
317 is looking for local volunteers to be, what they call, force marshals.
Okay, thank you. I know. And 3117. Okay, thank you. So they need over like 100 volunteers? Okay. And then can you contact them through their Facebook page or their website?
I'm pretty sure it's a website.
Okay.
I got an email from them. Let me see what it says.
Okay, thank you. Was there anything else open to all while we wait to get that information? All right. Yeah, I think I've seen it come up as just run317.com. And then I hope you guys don't mind, but anytime I get anything from the town or from the city, I just send it to your guys' emails. But if you feel like you're missing out on some information, feel free to share it out to me. You can either give me a call. I know our telephone numbers are on our website, and then also you can just email me. I can get any of the information that maybe I'm sharing here that you are missing out on, so that you know what's going on. Did you find it, Bonnie?
Yeah, it's just run317.com.
Okay, run317.com. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate you guys being here and watching online. I'll go ahead and adjourn. Have a great night. You're welcome.